Okay. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, property and asset management. Totally different aspect and thing to do. Learning a lot. It's really interesting. And really all I'm doing is I'm managing 2 office buildings, one in Southfield, one in California.
Okay.
Obviously remotely, and then a home estate in Northfield, Michigan.
Okay. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're liking that?
Yeah, it's good. It's new challenges. It's different for me. I'm enjoying it at this point. It still allows me to do the things I want to do and be free a little bit. So it's fun.
Awesome. And you've been helping out Joseph Lazius a little bit?
Yeah, I'm still, I've been working with him a long time since from way back when he started riding, and the last couple of years, he's just needed a familiar face around the track. So I've helped him out and been around when he's been riding. That's been good for him.
Yeah, and he's in the Twins Cup, Moto America.
He is. He raced a full season last year with M4 Go Suzuki.
Path thing going on where I've got a side hustle and then my day job. My day job right now, I'm managing proving grounds, so vehicle proving grounds out in Marshall, Michigan. You might have heard of it before. You're a Michigander.
Oh yeah, but sounds like a fun place to go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's Eaton. They do superchargers and valve train components, differentials, things like that. So I've been leading the proving grounds there for the past 2.5 years, and it's a pretty cool place. We've got a lot of pretty neat things. So there's a test lab side. That has dynamometers and all sorts of different test equipment, and then the track side, so on-road, off-road track. And we're actually setting up right now for a autocross activity that's going to be happening on Wednesday. So I'm pretty excited about that. I got to run the course real quick and make sure it's good and it's solid.
You set up those cones with a slalom section and braking sections?
Yeah, exactly. I think this course may even set up for about 40 or 45-second runs.
Yeah, we do everything ourselves. We get a bare frame. You just raw metal with we weld some tabs on it right from the frame company. And that guy, he's just a small guy in his garage, who he's got a jig and he welds them up, and he's been doing it a long time. He's very good at what he does. But yeah, we get a bare frame, and then like I said, the motors come right from Yamaha. We take them. We do all the assembly ourselves, but some of the stuff like Vance and Hines, they help us out a ton with doing like some CNC work on the heads. They build the exhaust for us. And then other than that, though, we get a big pile of parts and we assemble and fab and just kind of, we make a race bike out of it.
Yeah, it's all nuts and bolts in the end. It seems really daunting and scary when you never put one together before, but you just time and piece by piece, it just comes together. And you also have a crew with you too that helps.
Yeah, not really. I mean, when I go to the races, it's just it's like we went to Daytona. Funny story. Like my van, I had an issue with my van on the way home from what was it? It would have been Atlanta, like a few rounds before.
Yeah, which is, I mean, like I've got like a little bit of everybody like growing up from Michigan always is like, well, you ever have a bike like Barsha? And I always like looked up to Barsha. Like Barsha's one of my more favorite riders.
Yeah.
But even now that I'm getting older, I'm like, some of the stuff he does, I'm like, that's questionable. Like he's got to go race Tomac the following weekend or Roxon the following weekend. Like, I don't know if I would have done that.
Yeah. It's a little rude sometimes.
Yeah. And that's how I see it too. Is like, I mean, it's cool. He's got a cool style, and I look up to him, like I said. But some of the stuff I even am like, man, it's aggressive, it's dirty.
Yeah. So when you do inevitably get injured, or you've been injured in your past, what do you do mentally to come back from that? Because some people who are interested or don't follow motorcycle racing all the time, the injuries that we sustain are much different than, say, a hockey player or football or baseball player.
I've kind of had to take a step back too once we started having a family. So I started with this club and kind of worked my way up through it. But then I really had goals and dreams of racing our national series, the Canadian Superbike Series, which is mostly an Eastern series. They don't really come out west. So a lot of traveling, a lot of commitment, and did it for a couple of years. I didn't do the whole series. I just did their last round, which is at one of our most famous tracks, Mossport, if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Really enjoyed it, really wanted to do it, but same thing. It's really got expensive fast, right? And you start to realize it. And with having a family, you got to be smart. So I kind of took a step back from and went back to just having fun with racing. And I've been racing with our local club and just doing that the last couple of years, and really enjoyed it. And I've really excelled doing it because it just takes the stress away from it, and there's more funds available.
I think the two tracks that I seem to excel at would be Aragon and a smaller track in France called Lebanon. They're both very similar as far as a layout. Obviously, Aragon is super long. Like the track is almost 5 kilometers a lap, so it's a long lap time. But as far as just a layout, like constant elevation change, off-camera, on-camera corners, that's the kind of stuff I like. I think it's challenging, and it usually levels the playing field a little bit. Lebanon especially, again, small track in France, but the nice thing about that place is there were no long straights. Okay. And at the time, I was riding for Honda France on their CBR 600 in the Superstock 600 class, which was a good package, but in the long straightaways, we suffered. We just didn't have the engine to keep up with some of our sixes and the Kawasaki's. But that track in particular, since there were really no straights, it was just all, up, down, corner, left, right. So that was good for us, and that's where we actually got our first win, and that's where, we kind of started our championship push. So a lot of good memories, stuff like that.
What, the motivational, the pictures, like the one in the writing? Yeah, some of them, most of them. Yeah, most of them.
And how are you liking doing that? Is that easy for you? Because some people have never done that.
Yeah, it's actually not that hard to do. People actually, like, they make you pay for that. Like, they actually make you pay to. It's actually so fucking easy. Yeah. Do you know a website called Canva?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
If you want to search up, you can search up right now. It's just like Canva.com, and it basically just it's like a website where you can literally, you can put in a picture or a product or something. And basically, like, if you want to, it's like Photoshop, but easy steps, basically. It's just like that. And it's free. You can also pay for a 30-day free trial, but it's not even, it's a really good app to use. And I make my my ads from there. I make my
man, I'll sit right here next to my paramotor right now. It's actually dude, this thing is legit. It's a 25 horsepower 2-stroke bad boy. And when I say that, this thing's a Parajet Maverick, Italian made, and there's nothing like running in the sky. I mean, I've jumped out of planes in the Army. I've jumped out of Blackhawks in the Army. I've jumped out of planes in the civilian world. I've taken even my blind cousin, Pete. I've taken him skydiving a few times, and it's like there's nothing like running into the sky and flying around at your own free will, your own racetrack, as fast as you want. You create as much G as you want. You bank the thing around, and get some legit carbon fiber blades. I mean, dude.
Yeah, and it racked my brain a long time trying to best figure out how to hang all these trophies, because you get so many of them,
Right.
And they're all different sizes and shapes and positions. I ended up just putting them up chronologically so I could keep adding to the wall as I get more.
Right. Have some sort of rhyme and reason to putting them up in an order.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And you still been doing the little supermoto training, or what do you call it? Mini moto?
Yeah, you could call it mini supermoto, mini moto. I don't know if there's any set term for it, but yeah, I do that. Great training over the off season here in winter in Michigan. Not a whole lot of opportunities to ride, at least until the lakes freeze, where we can bring out the ice bikes. So now, while we're waiting for that, we're doing indoor mini supermoto, and there's 2 main organizations I run with there. Great Lakes Supermoto Mini Series.
The year I had a clutch hub nut strip out. So that ended that one. And then around the next one, I actually I was going forward. I was doing way better than I did last year at the same track. And then get pitched out. So I was kind of amped to go and race. And, got new bike set up and everything. And then you're just sitting there watching everyone else at the track. You're watching everyone else's post. And you're just kind of sitting at the house well, this sucks.
Yeah, for sure. When I was injured, one of the times it was, I kept telling the doctors, I don't remember it at the time, but people tell me this. I said, just give me new bones, I'll go back out there.
That's what I was like, yeah, just put a plate in there, we'll be fine. Like, you know that you have to wait for that to heal a little bit, and I'm like, that's your opinion there.
Right. I have another idea. Or can I get a second opinion?
Exactly. Yeah. Then actually, the funniest thing was there was one weekend coming up. I was finally able to do push-ups. I was going back to jiu-jitsu, taking it easy there, and.
Hey, just a quick message. Please head over to my YouTube channel and follow on YouTube under ericswanracing.com podcast. And it's also under youtube.com/emusic2010. It was an old username I haven't been able to change on there yet. So you can always search for Eric Swahn Racing on YouTube and go ahead and subscribe and follow and click that bell icon so you're notified when we post new videos. Thank you.